Hey guys, Chad here from Take It or Leave It, here with my top 10 favorite films of 2024. And before we get into it, can I just say that 2024 was a hell of a year for film. You know, for my top 10 of 2023 video, I ended up only giving 10 honorable mentions, but for this year, there were so many close calls that I ended up doing 20 honorable mentions. And to that point, just know that this is not, an objective list by any measure, because you might see some movies like Conclave and Small Things Like These and Strange Darling. Holy shit, Strange Darling. That one hurt. That hurt my soul not to include that on my top 10. Oh, brutal. So yeah, as you can see, not an objective list, just, my own personal top 10 favorite films of the year. Some other notable honorable mentions include Monkey Man, I Saw the TV Glow, Armand, Breathing In, which is like a witch kind of movie. It's really dark and it's on Screambox. I highly recommend that one. The Funeral, Before the World Set on Fire, and The Coffee Table. So yeah, hats off to those contenders, but now it's time to get to my 10th favorite film of 2024 and the winner of the Coolest Film of the Year award, which was Deus Irae. Father Javier joins part of a trio of excommunicated priests who hunt the possessed down to exorcise them under their own terms. Yeah, I know, it's kind of lame, but I'm gonna totally pull a Michael Scott and, create some Dundee awards for all these movies. I couldn't help it. I started doing it for one or two of them and then it got out of control. But like I said, Deus Irae is the coolest frickin' film of the year by far, in my opinion. It is an incredible illustration of efficient world building, and it's by far the most interesting and exciting new potential horror franchise, in my opinion, that we have going for us today. Yeah, like this film is flawed, don't get me wrong, but it is so frickin' badass. It's so raw and so gritty, so frickin' terrifying. For your own sake, please check this movie out so that we can hopefully get the much deserved trilogy that the director wants to give us. And at number 9, we have the winner of the Watch Twice in One Night award, which goes to Little Bone Lodge. Set during a vicious storm, two criminal brothers on the run seek refuge in a desolate farmhouse. Taking the resident family captive, they find the house holds dark secrets of its own. As I talked about in a prior video, this is one of the biggest pleasant surprises of the year. The best way I can describe this film, it's like the filmmakers were like, man, I really want to make it The Last House on the Left, but you know what? Instead of making the family just like a regular average Joe family, let's make this family a non-F-around, crazy, twisted family, such that it's the criminals who should really fear for their lives. There's also some really good character development. I cared about some of these characters by the end of the film, and I'm not kidding, I enjoyed this film so much that when it ended, I just started it over and watched it again. It was that much fun. And at number 8, we have the Scariest Film of the Year award, which goes to Daddy's Head. A boy and a stepmother fear for their safety after an eerie creature resembling the boy's recently deceased father visits them. Yeah, I know. I was just as surprised that this was the film that gets to win that award this year. But I'm not kidding, I had the lights down and dude, I was looking over my shoulder. I was making sure the door was locked when I watched this. This movie freaked me out. It got under my skin. It's got some incredible atmosphere, some great performances, and most interestingly, this film explores a stepmom and stepson relationship after the death of the husband/dad, and the film really explores it in a unique and very honest way. And at number 7, we have the winner of the Most Innovative Film of the Year award, which goes to Mads. A teenager stops off to see his dealer to test a new drug before heading off for a night of partying. On the way home, he picks up an injured woman and the night takes a surreal turn. Another one of the biggest pleasant surprises of 2024, this film clearly, most easily just snatches the Most Innovative Film of the Year award, considering that it was shot in only one take. Only one take! That's insane, guys. And if that wasn't impressive enough, it ends up spanning an entire countryside and city. Seriously, this was a hell of a feat. I don't know how they accomplished it, but man, what a hell of a ride. And at number 6, we have the winner of the Best Prequel of the Past Decade award, which goes to The First Omen. A young American woman is sent to Rome to begin a life of service to the church, but encounters a darkness that causes her to question her faith, and uncovers a terrifying conspiracy that hopes to bring about the birth of evil incarnate. Yeah, let's be real for a second. This film set the new standard for prequel movies. Minus the mid-credit scene, the film perfectly balances homages to the original and provides its own unique perspective on the lore. And when it comes to style, I mean, this film is essentially an art house film. I mean, dude, I said it once, I'll say it again. Prequels do not get better than this. Alright, and we're breaking into the top 5 with the film that won the Best New Director Award, which is Longlegs. In pursuit of a serial killer, an FBI agent uncovers a series of occult clues that she must solve to end his terrifying killing spree. Don't get me wrong, there are a lot of films from 2024 and a lot of new directors that could have won that award, but I give it to Oz Perkins because as crazy and amazing as Nicolas Cage is in this film, it's really Oz Perkins that stands out the most. I mean, his style and purposeful filmmaking, it is felt throughout this entire film. And let me tell you, this is the film that keeps on giving for every new viewing. Trust me, I know because I saw it 4 times in theaters. And at number 4, we have the winner of the Best Sequel of the Year award, which goes to Dune Part 2. Paul Atreides unites with the Fremen while on a warpath of revenge against the conspirators who destroyed his family. Facing a choice between the love of his life and the fate of the universe, he endeavors to prevent a terrible future. Look, this was a tough decision because both Longlegs and Dune Part 2 were going for this number 4 spot, and they were tied for a good amount of time until I realized that I actually saw Dune Part 2 5 times in theaters, one more time than I saw Longlegs. And at that point, I was like, I think that's gotta be the defining factor. I mean, come on, 5 times in theaters? That's crazy. But that's how much I love this film. I mean, what's not to say about the cinematography, Denis Villeneuve's direction, the incredible action, etc., etc. But the biggest compliment that I can give Dune Part 2 is that it made Dune Part 1 so much better. And I cannot wait to see what Denis does with Dune Messiah. And at number 3, we have the winner of the Most Enduring Film of the Year award, which goes to You'll Never Find Me. Patrick, a strange and lonely resident, lives in a mobile home at the back of an isolated trailer park. During a violent storm, a mysterious young woman appears at his door seeking shelter from the elements. You might be wondering, the Most Enduring Film of the Year award? How did you come to that conclusion? Well, this is the film on this list that I saw the earliest in 2024, and yet it hung in there to make the top 10. That's impressive and deserving of its own award. This is a slow burn and tension-fueled psychological thriller filled with symbolism with 2 great performances. It takes place in only one location, and yet it is absolutely captivating. It is minimalist filmmaking at its finest. And if you like Jacob's Ladder, then definitely check this film out. And at number 2, we have the winner of the Most Batshit and Punk Rock Film of the Year award, which goes to The Substance. A fading celebrity takes a black market drug, a cell-replicating substance that temporarily creates a younger, better version of herself. Is it possible that I customized this award for this film? Yeah, probably. I mean, batshit crazy punk rock. I mean, yeah, that's this film in spades. And I love that this film is getting so much love from the Academy and has gotten nominated for so many Oscars. This film deserves all of those accolades, except I gotta say, there is one major snub, and that is Dennis Quaid, who absolutely should have been nominated for Best Supporting Actor. That one hurts, that's a legitimate snub in my opinion, but look, the Academy is finally noticing horror films for how great that they are, and I'm not at all surprised to see that The Substance is the horror film to break through and make that kind of an impact on the Academy. Alright, and here we are, number 1, my favorite film of the year, and the winner of, well, it started off like this, the winner of the Best Ending of the Year award, the Most Underrated Film of the Year award, the Most Well-Rounded Film of the Year award, and I started thinking, god damn, that's a lot of awards, what's with this? And I was like, oh Oh shit, that's right. This is the only film I've ever given a 10 out of 10 on my channel. So instead of all those other awards, I just gave this film the Most Perfect Film of the Year award, which is The King Tide. After the mayor of an idyllic island village discovers a child with mysterious powers awash on their shores, the once peaceful community devolves into civil war, torn over the belief that the child is the next savior. Like I said, guys, this is the only film on my channel that has actually gotten a 10 out of 10 for me. I've got no notes. I think this film is a masterpiece. This film has something in it for everyone. It's a character study with family societal drama, tension, dread, suspense is in this. It's got some fantasy and sci-fi. It's got some horror sprinkled on top, and it's got some natural pops of comedy. Hence why I almost gave it the Most Well-Rounded Film of the Year award. The performances are phenomenal. The setting is utterly glorious to look at, and the cinematography is pristine. And the film has some really interesting and poignant themes regarding the human condition and our need for suffering to grow and thrive, tribalism, organized religion and cult worship, and addiction. And even though some people might see the ending coming before we get there, it's so dark, it makes such an impact. I still found myself at the end of this film with my jaw on the floor. And listen, there's a good chance that you haven't seen this film, and I'm telling you it's a mistake. Do yourself a favor. You owe it to yourself to check out The King Tide, and it is my #1 favorite film of 2024. But those are just my thoughts. Take it or leave it. What do you guys think? What does your top 10 favorite films of 2024 list look like? Does it look like mine? Does it look completely different? Let me know down in the comment section. Let's talk about it. And if you enjoyed this video but you want more information about what's on my watch list, what I'm currently watching, the kind of ratings I'm giving these films, as well as upcoming releases I'm looking forward to, don't forget to follow me on track.tv. My username is TIOLI_reviews. The link is in the description box. Go ahead and click it and start following me on Tracked, and I look forward to seeing you over there. And as usual, guys, thank you so much for stopping by my channel. I really appreciate it. Don't be afraid to hit that like and subscribe button. And until next time, I'm Chad from Take It or Leave It, and I'll check you later.
Check you later. Check you later.
Hey, man, get off my case.
Oh, man. Chicks don't want to hear that shit.